Entrepreneurs are no longer limited to bank loans for funds. This week, investment firm Goldman Sachs announced plans to offer online loans for consumers and small businesses, and some big corporations like Staples and Sam's Clubs are also introducing business loan programs. Joining us now to talk about all these options and what it could mean for traditional banks, we have business columnist Jean Marks. Jean, this is fascinating. So getting a business loan from a corporation or Staples like Sam's Club might seem a bit strange, but what are some of the benefits to consumers?
Yeah, hi Nancy. This has been like a big trend, and there are a lot of benefits both to small businesses and consumers. I mean, there is now with technology and the ability to go online, and also because of the recession that just happened a few years ago, it's given us a lot of business owners. Banks have kind of like pulled back from wanting to lend money. So one of the biggest opportunities for a small business or for a consumer is now that they can go to some of these other sources for loans and actually get approved for these loans. So the banking industry, as we know, they kind of retrenched for a while, and now it's kind of opened up a whole lot of other firms, and now Goldman Sachs is jumping in. Staples has been doing this now. The Staples just reached $1 million in loans that they've been giving out to small businesses. Sam's Club has been doing the same. PayPal has been offering loans as well to their small business customers. It just provides another vehicle for raising capital for a small business that really wasn't available just even a few years ago.
Jean, how do these compare to traditional bank loans? What are the rates?
They're more expensive. So, it's not as bad as a credit card, but at the same time, some of the rates could really go up. I mean, a typical bank loan, Nancy, is about, 5 to 8% for a typical commercial loan. Depends on the kind of loan that you get. That's from a bank, right? But if you go for the small business lending from some of these other providers, they can be anywhere from 8 to 40% of interest rates, which is really like, wow.
That sounds pretty predatory, Jean.
It does, doesn't it? It's allowed, and what it is they're short-term loans, and what they're doing is they are allowing, they're giving this kind of capital that's available. It's completely fine and good. If you're a small business, you're not looking to do this as like a long-term plan. But if you need capital, you need capital, and if you've got to pay some extra, this is some of the options that you have. So it's not predatory. It's completely legal. It's completely fine. But yeah, you're right. I mean, the rates are definitely higher.
Well, fortunately for entrepreneurs, there are other ways to get capital for your business, and you write about some of them. What are they?
Yeah, I mean, there's some interesting stuff that's coming up that's made some real headlines lately. First of all, crowdfunding. Keep an eye on that.
And crowd financing, which is fascinating, which is a whole other conversation we need to have.
It is. It absolutely is, and it's a fascinating way of growth. It's just finally, it was the SEC has had the crowdfunding rules in its pocket for a few years now, and they were kind of restrictive for a lot of businesses. But Nancy, just this week, they were finally been sort of very much relaxed. So now a company can raise up to $50 million. They can go for accredited and non-accredited investors. They don't need audited financial statements, and not only that, but they can apply. They don't have to file in every single state in the country. We had to do this before. Now we don't have to. So keep an eye on that. For a lot of small businesses that are out there, they might be going and looking at raising money through crowdfunding, Kickstarter, Indiegogo. Those are some really popular sites to do. I mean, don't get me crazy. One guy, he raised like $55,000 making potato salad last year. So I'm not saying you're going to be doing that. But I think for a lot of small business owners that want to start up a new business, that want to introduce a new product or get some kind of a loan somewhere, the crowdfunding sources is really available for them to do that.
And then in a lot of the situations, you don't even have to give up equity, so it's just win-win, right?
That's correct. You can give away a product, you can give away a service, but now the new rules allow you giving away equity. One final thing, and I always tell my small business readers and clients, a lot of private companies are giving away money. Chase has they're called their Main Street Mission program. They're giving away like $100,000 in grants individually to businesses. Miller's Beers, Sam Adams, FedEx, Intuit. All these big companies are giving away money in grants programs to help finance small businesses. It gives them some good PR, so that helps them, and it gives some startup cash to small businesses around the country. So,
all right, so everyone's jumping in on this bandwagon, right? Do traditional banks need to be worried about this trend?
Yeah, it's a really good question. No. When I speak to bankers, and I was actually recently speaking to someone I know at Capital One Bank, they are not worried about this trend. And the reason why is this. The micro loaners, even the people like Staples or Sam's Club, they're offering these high interest loans to people that are really more at risk. than who the banks would want to lend money to. So in a way, they're providing that sort of first level of credit availability. And for those customers that do succeed and then want more financing in the future, well, they've proven they can do it. So they've got some kind of a credit history. And now a bank can feel a little bit more comfortable loaning them money. So that makes them more comfortable. And then also for a small business, you can get lower interest rates than 40%. So banks themselves are, I think they're open to this idea because it does provide a level of financing to those people that they are not able to serve right now.
I have a boy or a girl. Why can't I have a girl with blue eyes and blonde hair, or a boy with blue